All right. Welcome, everybody, to a special Fusebox Engaged, done on the weekday when I'm totally unprepared and unawares. I am here currently with one of our regulars, Rosetta.
Hello.
And Johnny Depp has won his case.
Yeah, I'm busy torturing Heard in her stands right now. I mean, fucking hate that abusive bitch. I fucking hate her.
I mean, there's no need to rub more salt in the wound. Because
when she goes out and starts publicly making claims that it only happened because the courts are sexist and this is against women and blah, blah, blah. I mean, I'm a voice for abuse victims and shit. I can't let that sit as somebody who's been through that shit. Fuck her.
Yeah, but I mean, are you really surprised?
I'm going to torment her about it.
She, that's the go-to when you lose something is to say, well, everything is rigged against me. But Johnny Depp has won, and I'm very happy about that. I don't I'm not like a huge Johnny Depp fan, but I did love him as Jack Sparrow, and I actually really liked that movie he did, Public Enemies, when he played John Dillinger. I thought that was good. And I just don't like seeing people get dragged through the mud from all internet shit.
Despised Depp for a long time. I've never been a fan of his. The only time I ever liked him was when he played a mental patient. But he's the victim in this case, and it's not about personal opinions.
Well, Johnny Depp is wonderful as Jack Sparrow.
Never liked those.
Well, how dare you? Outlaw Nights wouldn't exist if Pirates of the Caribbean hadn't come out. So how dare you?
Too bad. Show me on the doll where my opinions hurt your fifis.
But again, the world would be deprived of the wonderfulness that is Outlaw Nights.
That wouldn't make me like I'm still not gonna like the movies.
What's up, Genuine?
Also, Tim Burton's overrated. How's that?
Well, I don't like Tim Burton, so.
Well, 95% of everything Depp does is Tim Burton. Let's be honest.
I know, but like I said, I don't like everything that he does.
Nope. Best thing he ever did was play a mental patient in Benny and June. I mean,
I feel like like Tim Burton. Tim Burton has like a weird necrophilia thing going on with his movies. And
Tim Burton to me is what the shock value. We're doing it because we want to make people shocked. Modern goth is, and is a more historical, traditional gothic from old cultures and into Addams Family era and stuff. It's not what I like. It's to me what the culture got mutilated into. And I have friends that are in the modern goth, and I don't care. It's their opinion, but I can't stand it.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I just don't like darkness and evil. I know that sounds crazy.
Oh, I write twisted as hell shit. You'd probably freak out at some of the stuff I do. But I don't think... I find the weird obsession with corpses and zombies and stuff that happen in some of the modern goth kind of creepy.
Yeah, no, I don't like that shit. I don't like dead things. I like living things.
I like dead things when they're on a grill. Does that count?
I like sunshine and...
I mean, if it's a dead thing like a bison and it's being grilled up, I like that. I like dead deer. I like venison. Does that count?
I've never eaten bison, but...
Bison is what you would get if you took high-end beef and gave it a little bit of the mineral, vitamin, and flavor that you get in like lamb and stuff. It just made it more wild and a little gamey. It's really good.
I like lamb. I know,
It's
like,
kind of in between them in flavor, but it is
My-
that part of the bovine beef family.
I like lamb. My poor mom, she doesn't like to eat lamb because she feels bad for the lambs. God bless her.
Let her know that nothing that's been called lamb in the last 40 years is actually the little ones. It's 2-year-old sheep. They don't differentiate between lamb and mutton anymore.
Okay, that's good.
They haven't been the little lambs since the 60s, actually.
But Johnny Depp won his court case. I don't know if you heard.
Yeah, I'm so happy about that because I'm sorry. You know I'm MRA. You know I've been for all victims on male and female side. You know my personal history with this stuff. This one, it was important to me because I know too many male victims who haven't had a voice, who've gone through hell. And if this had gone the other way, it would have made it so much harder for them to get justice because they're already not heard.
Yeah, I mean, I did feel like with this court case, though, like in many ways, it was a victory for Johnny Depp. Like either way it would have gone, because he at least got the story out there, and it was clear like a lot of people started putting the pieces together. So it's like, even if by some bizarre chance she had won, I think like there still would have been a huge
public opinion was still on his side overall.
Exactly.
She'll have her thousands of stands that will love her no matter what she does. Just like the mass murderers, serial killers and stuff always have their thousands of female fans who want to lot the bad boy and don't care that he murdered all these women. It's that exists. She's going to have her sycophants no matter what she does and no matter how much evidence is against her. But the massive public opinion was on his side.
Yeah. I totally agree. And, it's a good thing. Because I felt like, like ever since that Me Too stuff started, I never liked that stuff. Even though a lot of people, it was good for people, it was also kind of bad for society.
It's kind of complicated because when it first started, it could have been a really good thing if it had really been about letting all victims be heard. That would include people like Brendan Fraser, who was drummed out of Hollywood after he came forward about being abused as a male in Hollywood sexually.
Yeah.
That would include the Coreys. That would include all of them. Male victims don't have a voice. And look at what happened to Phil Hartman years ago. And all these women who go, well, women aren't the abusers. Women aren't the abusers. He was a battered husband for a long time. Nobody knew until she killed him.
Yeah.
And then all this stuff started coming out about her abusing him and the kids for years.
Yeah.
It's time to stop with these sexist stereotypes and realize that both genders can and do abuse, and both genders can and have been the victims. Both genders can and do sexually assault, and both genders can be the victims. And because male victims have so little public defense and other men are horrible to them, it's, oh, you wanted it, can't rape the willing, shit like that from other men. They have such a higher suicide rate. They have almost no recourse to have somebody help them get out. And you're talking about there's over 20,000 shelters that help women and children in this country. Do you know how many help men now?
I would say 0.
It was 0 about 10 years ago. Now it's 6. Which at least is a slight step in the right direction, but still really fucking pathetic.
Yeah. Lordy.
What are these guys supposed to do? Nobody will listen to them. Nobody will help take them in. There's no shelters for them. There's no, we'll help you rebuild your life without your abuser places. And as they try to come forward, they're scorned, abused, and tormented in the public eye. And people wonder why the suicide rate for men in those situations is so high.
Yeah. But, I want more Jack Sparrow.
I am so happy about this because this is something I'm passionate about. It's something I've been fighting about for a long time. This is what killed me being friends with an entire section of people that used to be on our side and have gone SJWs, because they started going the men aren't the victims, men are the abusers shit in their streams, and I told them off on air.
Oh shit.
And it ended up ending the stream that we did together every week for almost 2 years because they were being so rude to me and they were being so derogatory to men that it led with me going fuck this shit, going into chat telling them they were idiots.
Yeah, I've noticed there's been a bit of a defection going on here and there. Like, I used to be a fan of like Just Some Guy.
Oh no, he's a nutcase. The thing is, he was good at faking it.
Recent months,
but it's not recent months. He was good at faking it because he went creepy weird on me over a year ago and I blocked him.
Shit.
And I kept going, you guys, he's not what you think he is. I've seen it. And they kept going, well, look at this comment. Look at this comment. It's like, you'll see. It's going to come out. Because he did some weird-ass shit, made some creepy comments to me that honestly made my skin crawl. I can't even remember now because I kind of blocked it. You know what you do when you're done with something? You just let it out of your mind?
Yeah.
But it actually literally made my skin crawl, so I just blocked him and blocked out. And then all this stuff starts coming out. These things he's saying, these defense of these things, if you don't support teaching this stuff to kids, you're anti-gay and all this shit. And I'm sitting there going, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
I think the thing that just annoyed me the most was when he just started taking these random shots at Christianity. And
he's been doing that a long time, actually.
But it was
I saw him do that even before I blocked him.
It just kind of was weird to me because I'm like, you know, he said his favorite author is Tolkien. It's like, you know, Tolkien was like a big Catholic, like.
Yeah, Tolkien was the Catholic conservative. He wasn't just Christian. He was the Catholic conservative. The conservative side of Catholicism is the more extreme side of conservative Christian.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you want, idiots? Do you not know who you're... Oh, these people. They're so fucking pathetic.
Yeah.
And see, the thing is, I can go on a stream earlier with Pops, and his panel is all more the atheist and the anti-that and stuff. And I can make comments and get them to come to me because, yeah, I'm the girl of faith, but I'm sitting there going, I have problems with what this is doing currently in modern history. I have problems with all of this, what's done history. And I think in history, you can look at it and historically, yes, every religion has done wrong.
Every group
of
people.
Atheists have historically targeted Christians in killing them for their faith.
Yeah.
It's historical, and that is fact. And as I said, I don't care where you fall, in which religion, which culture, what your personal views are. As long as you're respectful of mine, I'm good with you.
Well, that's the way
when you start doing the shit like Bill Nye does and going, if you're Christian, you're abusing your children by teaching it to them and shit. No, fuck you. You're a bigot, you know? But as long as you're a decent person who has your views, doesn't share them with other people, but can respect other people's views, then I've got no problem with you.
It's so weird because, like Bill Nye, when I was in Catholic elementary school, we watched Bill Nye, the science guy, in class.
I never got why he was treated like such a brilliant scientist then. Half the shit he said was not well done. He missed a lot of the facts on a lot of the things he did stuff for back then. And he's not a scientist.
Yeah.
He's not even the same level of engineer as my husband.
Yeah, he's... I mean, really, it was just about the stupid little music videos and the...
I mean, yeah, I'll be honest. When it comes to scientific training for engineers, the type he did, mechanical engineering, is not high science field. My husband's is because it's avionic and he actually has to know physics, Diffie Q, solar alignments, all this kinds of stuff for his. So he has to deal with quantum shit in his work. So you have to be at least partly scientist for that shit, you know? But not all engineering.
Quantum realm?
It does because they have to deal with what ifs, and in every what if has to be looked at. Especially when you're doing like weather radar and possible air anomalies and everything. You have to look at every possible scenario, no matter how rare and unlikely. And you have to investigate every known science.
Did he meet Paul Rudd?
I'm not sure. There's one thing I can say that I have a grounds to say. It's the only one I can actually say. When they were having the issue about a decade ago of all the planes crashing, because there was a error in the new tech system and the weather radar was failing. That started before he started to work. He's actually the one who found the issue and fixed it.
Shit. Fuck right.
So yeah, like I said, he senior engineer at his job, at his level, the average work span in the job to make senior engineer is 20 to 25 years. He got senior engineer in 7 years.
Fuck yeah.
When I brag about my husband, he deserves it. He's a lot more brilliant than people realize. He's an engineer, which means he's very socially awkward and not very good at expressing himself in linguistic ways.
I don't know. He seemed pretty good when I talked to him last.
Well, I'm saying because that's where people get is he's not in writing. He doesn't come off as brilliant as he is because he's not great with words. And even he says that. He asks me for help with them all the time. But I'm not good at the stuff he's good at, you know? But he is so much more than people could realize at a glance. He is just absolutely amazing for that. And he's very modest.
Like I know about a brilliant guy who wrote a comic called Outlaw Nights, who's handsome like a Greek god and very well spoken, and hosts a show called Fusebox Engaged. And I'm in awe of that guy, Just wow. There's legends that he's the bastard child of Zeus. And I see it.
You're really, really, really trying to build yourself up, aren't you?
I'm also very humble. I'm also very, grounded. So anyway, I really hope that Johnny Depp, I hope that they pull something out and they're somehow able to get more real Pirates of the Caribbean going. Not this, I know that they've been planning this all-female reboot, which it's we really haven't had enough all-female reboots, all-female reboots, they do so well, and they're just so brilliant every time they're done. But it'd be great if we could get some actual Jack Sparrow back. I would enjoy that. And if they would fire Margot Robbie and make it public, I would also enjoy that. I'm not really a fan of Margot Robbie.
I'm not really either.
I think a lot of people like her, and that's great. But let's face, I think she's mostly popular because she's hot.
Speaking of which, the whole little tirade of her playing victim with the court ruling has been picked up by women posting their L's. And it's getting spread all over the internet against her.
Well, when you poop in people's beds, it just
I have to send you something. 1 sec. This is awesome. This is freaking awesome. It just stinking is. Oh my crap. I have to steal this, and then I have to post it in the group.
I thought that Phoenix was going to join us.
Well, we'll see.
Tisk tisk.
All right. Go look in the group.
I'm having trouble waking up. Jesus. Oh, Lordy. Let me see here.
I bet that's funny.
Hang on. Ah. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, that says it all, you know. I thought she was like okay looking before all this. You know, like I wasn't really I never found her like super attractive, but I was just like, oh, she's pretty. But after that incident, I can't look at her the same way. Like, no. I think they even said during the trial that that was when Johnny Depp like was like, yeah, okay, it's over, and I'm like, yeah, I agree. Of all the horrible things she did to him, it's like shitting in the bed. That's the topper. That's the thing where I'm like, yeah, nope, I could never have sex with you ever again,
You filthy
ever.
hoe, literally. I mean,
Oh,
that's fucking priceless, isn't it?
oh
And they
god.
use the angry screaming face on it too. Just the little touches on this are so well done.
Isn't that kind of her natural state?
Uh-huh.
I'm having trouble waking up. I don't know why.
I have to go share that to the Justice for Johnny group and the tug groups I'm involved with.
Why can't I wake up?
I mean, I am in several different chats here that deal with this stuff, so I'm gonna go share it.
Well, I want you to answer why I can't wake up.
Because you're a fuckwit? I don't know.
Like you have to tell me. Oh Jesus.
I don't know what's wrong with you. I mean, I could come up with some theories, but I think it'd insult you.
Yeah, don't. I already know what's wrong with me. I don't need reminding.
I have so much I have to get done today because I have to get packed tonight to go back and help Mom some more because we have to leave Friday morning, and tomorrow is me and Steve's anniversary.
Nice.
16 years and we haven't killed each other.
I have to get a new job because I don't have a job right now, and that's not good.
Get a haircut and get a real
I
job.
feel like I've been catching up on sleep from like months ago. Oh shit. Oh hell yeah. We're up to 75 signups on the email list. I hadn't even checked in the past couple days. That's awesome. So we only need about 25 more to launch this bitch. Fuck yeah. I was worried we were still stuck on 68. Fuck yeah. Let's see here. I'm very slow with this shit. That's what she said. I mean, it's not really what she said, but kind of what she said.
Let's just say it this way. I'm holding myself together without going as crazy and as crass over here. Much better than I was over on Pop's channel earlier.
So you used it all up on Pops' channel?
I blame Richard Embry.
Yeah, I've never actually been on a stream with him. I've always seen him on Twitter, but I've never been on a stream with Richard.
I blame a lot of people, but not me. Anyway, let's just say there's so many things that can be taken out of context, like, why the guy's on the panel saying that he masturbated so much he looked like a pirate with the patch over his eye from hitting it. I wasn't the worst one on the stream.
I can't quite figure out how that works.
He was trying to shoot his eye out. You'll shoot your eye out.
I'm too tired for all that. Rosetta, I can't wake up. I can't wake up.
I haven't been able to hardly sleep since Dad passed, so
No, it's just my sleep schedule is totally out of whack right now.
if you're drifting off to sleep around 2 and you're awake fully by 4 a.m., it's not good. Especially if you're doing that for 2 months straight.
Wait, is that about me or you?
Me.
Okay. Because I do, no, like, I've been staying up way too late recently. I planned this stream at like 5 a.m.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever figure out what's going on with you and Piper?
Nope.
Maybe I'll ask her when she does F-It show later.
I tried, like, I asked her on Twitter and she just ignored me, so I was just like, well.
She has her moments that she gets weird on people, but she's got a good heart.
But yeah,
sometimes you just gotta give her time to cool down when she hits those points, and sometimes that's all it is. If it makes you feel any better, me and her had blocked each other for a while, and we're where we are now.
Well, no, like, that's the thing. Like, I got butthurt because she wouldn't respond to me, so I blocked her, and then she blocked me back on both of her accounts, and I was like, all right.
Well, we're kind of both believing the always block back, so yeah, that wasn't helpful.
Well, you know, I have feelings, Rosetta. I have feelings. I can get emotional.
No, I'm not saying that you didn't have a reason you did what you did and all that, but that probably didn't help. The problem is, especially in the geek community, most of us have been through some horrid shit. Most of us have issues. Most of us are a little more sensitive than the average person.
Yeah.
So when you get a whole bunch of us interacting with each other, sometimes some nice little wars are going to happen.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, like, middle school for me was a jungle. Twitter, like, I joined Twitter back in, like, not that long ago. I joined Twitter in, like, 2018. And I'm still kind of in shock at how petty and ridiculous it is.
Here's one for you. I was friends with this person for a couple of years, easy, before all this started happening. Over. He was in my chat all the time. He's been on my streams. I've been on his. He was a wrench of his. All of this, right?
Yep.
He always told me over and over, everything's cool. I like the way you talk. I like your honesty. I don't mind that you have your tics and your issues and what you say and stuff like this, all this. I'm cool with you. I'm cool with you. All of a sudden, out of the blue, I'm not involved in any place where he's sharing links to anybody, and I'm not a wrench on his channel. I asked him what it was, and he literally said, well, the streams get too raunchy and rowdy when you're here, so I just don't want you on anymore. And the thing is that when I'm on his streams, I'm not usually the one doing it. It's the guys making lewd comments to me. So he was kicking me off for the guys being lewd to me.
Yeah. I don't like to kick people off in general.
I mean, and I will if there's a real reason to kick him off. But I mean, that one, I got kicked off because the guys make lewd come-ons to me.
Yeah,
that kind of treads towards that is kind of sexist crap.
Yeah.
You know? It's also a bit of a bigoted double standard that it's a problem when I get too crass or my tics happen and I say something too crass, but he's been known for having a temper and swearing and screaming at people, and he's defended other people who do stuff like that, but the chick isn't allowed to?
Yeah, I don't dig double standards.
I don't dig it from either side, and it annoys the hell out of me. But what really kills me is how many people I've seen keep forgiving, keep going back to the same fucking assholes, like Mecca. And that's all good, and that's all fine. Mecca random.
Oh. Yeah.
And no matter what she says, people keep flocking back to her. And yet, I have one outbreak on a stream and everybody disassociates from me and blackballs me on their channels. What? Her streams are nothing but her having meltdowns and screaming obscenities at people.
Yeah, I didn't, like, I stopped following Mecha Random, like, God, it's been like at least over a year.
I pulled away from almost everything she was involved in when she got weird on the guys over a year ago. That was the first step. But I was still civil, partly because, you know, there's a lot of mutual friends, and I didn't have the whole story on that. I had a problem with some of the things she said and did. I'm done after the comments that she made about Texas.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was just like, what the fuck?
And you look at her feed, and it is a streamline of her defending that and telling more people that you shouldn't care about dead children.
Yeah, that was like, Jesus God, how does somebody say something like that? Like, Christ.
And she got ratioed to hell. She's only got like 10 likes on that entire thing, and hundreds and hundreds of comments and retweets blasting her all over the spectrum.
The fact that there's any likes on it at all is proof that our society needs some serious help.
Y'all need Jesus. I mean, right?
Like, Jesus God.
But
no matter where you fall on politics, like, I think everybody agrees school shootings are bad. Like,
but even if you don't agree with the solution, I rank what she said, though, the same with these people that are literally harassing one of the fathers who lost his daughter there because he was against gun-free zones. Which, by the way, his daughter was killed in one, so it kind of seems like he was proven right. But even if you think his politics were wrong, he just lost his child.
Yeah,
and you're going to harass him and threaten him because you don't like his politics? It's like, that's sick.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I feel like, you know, as useful as social media can be, I feel like something's got to be done to, like, curtail it to some degree. Not necessarily like a government thing, but I kind of wish that these companies would, like, shut the site down for, like, a temporary amount of time or something.
The thing is that while people talk about how vitriolic this is, this kind of stuff has existed in hate mail and threats in the mail and stuff for a very long time. It's just not been as publicly known because most of the people who receive it were quiet about it. They didn't want publicity on it. But these kinds of crackpots, the violence in public and shit like that, and people saying horrific, bigoted shit in public does happen and has always happened. It's just another outlet for bullies and psychopaths to use. And we could give in to them and allow them to be an example of society, or we can join together as people telling them they're fucking worthless and to fuck off.
Yeah. I think, I mean, yeah, something's... Where's Jesus at? When's he coming back? Like, I've been waiting. Cue the Reddit atheist.
The more of this shit that happens, the more of these comments I see of people making fun of people who die and harassing victims and shit like that. And both sides have done it. And this is not the first time that's been done, because look at the harassment and accusations of false flags and all that shit that happened to the Sandy Hook parents.
Yeah.
Every time I see this shit going on, all I hear is that stereotypical inner city Southern black woman going, y'all need Jesus.
Well, they are correct. I mean,
I about laughed because I always knew that stereotype, but I'd never actually heard it until I made my trip through the South a couple of years ago. And I stopped at the store down in Louisiana, and it was the darkest black woman I could see. And the second she started talking about it, was literally that voice, head bop and everything. Yeah, and honey, you guys see what I got over here and stuff. And it's like, I'm sitting there going, it's true. It's true. You know,
it makes me proud.
The sweetest woman. Oh my God, it's so helpful. But part of me was laughing, going, as a northern girl, I always kind of thought this was a stereotype. I didn't know this was real.
But it's one of the best stereotypes. It's like it's one of those few positive stereotypes.
Oh, bless your little black heart, right?
But
that's a southern thing, isn't it? To say something that's supposed to be sweet and sound like you're saying "fuck you" at the same time.
Well, I've never heard that. Oh, bless you,
darling.
I've heard that.
Well, that's what it. No, that's what I'm saying. It sounds like you're, because that's what it is. Is you're using this sweet term to go, "Oh, you're such a fucking idiot."
Yeah.
Bless you're just saying it in a nice, sugared way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, indeed.
It cracks me up.
Speaking of all that. Speaking of race, how do you feel about Disney's latest attempt to drum up publicity for Obi-Wan?
Oh, you mean the fact that they're intentionally encouraging racist behavior so they can call it out?
Well, the fact that once again we're getting yet another online campaign claiming that a star is being harassed over racism, when it really doesn't make any sense, considering Star Wars has always black people in it since the beginning.
I know. Now, there's always going to be those trolls that say racist shit to everybody online, no matter what your race is. There is.
Yeah.
But if Disney was really interested in that, they wouldn't have sat there and gone for their new Marvel show and literally listed which natives worked on the show by reservation, because that's racist as fuck. Second of all, then you would have said, we stand against the racist shit some people have said to this actress. You would not have said, we welcome this character, and if you don't welcome her, you're not wanted racist.
Yeah.
Because that's an entirely different meaning. And that's tokenizing the actress to try to whitewash your writing.
Yeah, and it comes off as so performative. It's so, like, you know what I mean? Like, it feels fake. Everything about it.
Because it is fake. If they cared about minorities, they would not have turned Finn into a racist stereotype of black men. They would not have turned Rose Tico into a PETA bitch who can't drive like a stereotypical Asian and made her look like a fat potato sack when, I'm sorry, Kelly Marie is fucking gorgeous.
Yes, I agree.
They would not have let Once Upon a Time portray Dreamcatchers as satanic black magic.
Yeah, that was just bizarre.
They would not have done all this racist shit they have done to minorities for decades. This is what Disney does. They treated black actors like shit on Disney Channel for 10 years, and then they did The Color of Friendship to give them here, we're doing this thanks to you. We'll do a movie about a true story about the apartheid. And I remember don't get me wrong, it was a good movie, actually. But it was we're giving you some crumbs so you don't hate us for how racist we are, kind of thing.
Oh yeah, no, I mean they are the quintessential example of corporate filmmaking, in that they're all about image, but what they do behind the scenes, it's like it's anything goes behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
As long as when you're on camera, yes, I support diversity and inclusion and everything that's good. Butterfly tears.
But if you look at Disney's history, their history towards natives is atrocious, and that includes in how they treat them in filming and other shit. And then you look at I love the original Peter Pan, but come on, the way they portrayed the Indians in that was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
And again, Disney, the one that's telling everyone else to watch your language. One of your most beloved movies that you based your emblem for your whole company on uses the slur about natives repeatedly in it.
Talk about
watch Peter Pan and listen to how many times they say Indians.
Oh.
Which is the equivalent of the N-word.
I haven't watched Peter Pan since I was
they have a song in it that actually
really
says
little.
It repeatedly while they're singing it. And again, I'll watch the movie. I don't care because I don't get easily offended. But the hypocrisy of them acting like they're all tolerance and all light when they have this shit and they still support it is ridiculous.
Well, you know, they're looking at what's trending on the internet and they want to follow it.
What they're doing right now is we don't support racism to black people unless we're trying to sell our movie in China, in which case we'll erase the black man from the poster because he's offensive to Asians.
I was amazed. Like, I saw like a couple of examples of that, and like, I was amazed that they did it with Black Panther. Like, they actually like covered what was his name? The guy who played Black Panther. Chadwick Boseman.
Yes.
Yeah, they actually covered his face with the mask as part of their editing, and the first thought I had was, if China is so racist against black people, why are they importing a movie about black people in the first place? Like, that makes no sense to me logically.
They're so against racism, they're so for minorities, but the actress that they supported, that they had do the Mulan remake, supports the Chinese internment camps and the genocide of Taiwan.
Yeah.
And they defended her for that.
Yep. Because, you know,
the hypocrisy in Disney is fucking amazing.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, it's the corporate filmmaking thing. It's, you know, we're going to do what we got to do to stay with the trends, and we're going to get that sweet, sweet money from overseas.
Well, remember, they were recently busted ignoring background checks and hiring several pedophiles to work in the park with kids.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that was a thing recently. Came out there. And it wasn't that somebody turned out to be a predator after they were working there. These were people who were on the watch list before Disney hired them, who weren't supposed to be allowed in any place that works directly with kids.
God. How did we fucking get here? What is happening in society?
I don't know. It's crazy. I don't get how we got here, but you know, I guess what the fuck? It's whatever goes to these fuckers. They don't actually care about lives. It's like all these people that are pandering and doing all the anti-gun shit because of the Texas shooting. They don't care that, you know, mass shootings only occur in gun-free zones. They don't care that there's an open border with illegal guns pouring over it every day right next to there. They don't care that the guy legally shouldn't have been able to buy that gun, so it was not a legal gun. It means the background checks and the system failed because he wasn't old enough to buy that gun. They don't care.
And they keep pretending like there is no gun control when there is gun control.
They don't,
like background checks are a thing already.
They've actually gone after me for talking about Wounded Knee when it's fucking, I'm the survivor line of the massacre.
Yeah.
And they said, well, you don't care about children. It's like, well, I was saved by a legal gun. Do you care about the children like me who are protected from predators with them? Oh, no. Because we're not politically advantageous to what they believe in. They don't care about us. They don't care about the massive sex trafficking ring against Native women that's coming through South America and kidnapping women on the reses. They don't care about the whole Wind River thing because the only way to solve that is to get more guns on the res. Because the federal courts are blocking tribal police from punishing criminals from outside the res.
Fucking hell.
They don't give a shit about women. They don't give a shit about children because we need to be armed to protect ourselves. They don't care about the elderly who can't fight somebody off. They do not care about those in rural America who have possible predators and animals like that anytime in their yard. They do not care about anyone except for their specific little bubble to create their narrative to get what they want, which the roots of gun control has always been and will always be racism. It has always been about unarming minorities in this country. Take a look at the history of it. It came out of the Civil War and the anti-Indian stuff.
I can see that. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, this stuff pisses me off. Can you tell?
I mean,
here's the fact.
It's true.
I am a survivor. I'm alive because I chased him off with a legal gun. I was victimized because he had an illegal one. My mom is alive because my dad shot the animal that was attacking her. My dad, who had muscular dystrophy, multiple forms, was crippled. He could not have saved her if he didn't have a gun.
It's the fact that people don't want to acknowledge that, like, as I think it's one of those things where it's like I can appreciate the idealism behind some of it. It's like I get you want to live in a more peaceful world and all that. It's like that's a
but when
beautiful
people
thing.
like me talk about these things, when people talk about living in extreme poverty and I have to hunt in order to feed my family and shit like that, and they go, "Oh, you just want to murder children." Fuck you.
Yeah,
You know?
like that's absurdism. But yeah, it's like it comes from like I get like the idealism behind it, but it's like they don't recognize the fact that, as sad as it is to say, deterrence works. It's like, it's like we live in a world that's very much in the natural order. It's built on survival of the fittest, and it's like somebody's got a gun coming at you. The best defense you've got is a gun.
And with survival of the fittest, the only real defense for the elderly, for the disabled, for women and stuff is to be armed against potential predators. And yeah. But what kills me is the absolute insanity of this, because this is the viewpoint. They want to talk about the fact that sex trafficking is so huge. They want to talk about the fact that women are supposed this rape culture and women are always in danger. But they don't want to close the border. They want to disarm legally armed people. And there's a rape culture, but they want to make it impossible for women to question if a man comes in their bathroom.
Yeah.
The mental gymnastics of this. Because this was not happening before this whole thing about bathrooms. There were not people sitting there at the doors going, "You're dressed like a woman. You look like a woman. Let me check. Do you have an Adam's apple? Do you have a penis? You're not coming in here." That was not happening.
Yeah.
But have there been cases like what happened at Planet Fitness years ago, where the woman was kicked out for going to the staff because there was a guy in street clothes in watching the women shower? And they called her transphobic for saying that he shouldn't be in there?
Lordy.
And they were pissed that she went to her credit card company and had them reverse all charges that she paid them. I would have, wouldn't you?
Yeah. God.
I mean, the amount of sick in this. You can be a rational person. If you're trans, and I don't hate you, I don't have a thing against you. But it is not transphobic to say that you are not genetically the same in sports and stuff like that as a woman. It does not mean we look down on you. It means there are scientific genetic differences that are important in that. If you're trans, I have no problem with you in the bathroom. But you can't say, don't question men in a woman's bathroom, because that leads to predators not being stopped at the door. There's a middle ground here of sanity where you can still be compassionate to both sides without asking women to give up our face and our rights for a minority without disregarding that minority either, you know?
I agree.
And that's the thing, is the second you say that, oh, you're just transphobic. Really? Well, I mean,
the concept of compromise seems to be completely lost on so many people.
That's the ironic part. The stream that I was on for that 2 years that ended up breaking up, the host was trans. And actually, I will tell you that the hormone therapy changes their behaviors and thought processes.
That makes sense.
Because she changed going through the hormone therapy and surgery.
Yeah.
And she got more mentally unstable the entire time she was doing it.
Well, yeah, I think like that comes from, I mean, you're literally changing your hormone balance.
Yeah, I've been through hormone therapy. Guess what? When I was on hormone therapy, my husband didn't want to come near me. He'd come in the house from work and throw chocolate at me and run away.
I mean, that's kind of a wise thing to do just in general with women. But, you know.
I was on a bed rest during this time. I couldn't get up on my own because I had severe internal injuries that were bleeding. I was on a massive hormone therapy. I was going through surgeries. I couldn't get up. I was pissy as hell. PMS times 1,000. You know?
Yeah.
His response was, "Hi, honey, I love you." Toss chocolate, run in the other room. "You can stop and say hi. Eat your chocolate first, sweetie." From the other room.
That's how you know he's intelligent.
And hormone therapy does serious harm to your body. You can support people having the right to transition or do surgeries if it makes them feel better as adults, without supporting them doing this to kids, because puberty blockers cause serious physical damage and sterilize you. And kids do not
that
know.
Seems like
I'm
a
sorry.
no-brainer to me, but apparently it's not.
I am sorry, but most kids do not know, because puberty changes your outlook on who you are and your identity. First of all. Second of all, even the kids who really do know for sure, the medical damage done by the puberty blockers is not worth it. Let them identify as they want. Let them dress as they want. Fine. But do not genetically change things until they're stable enough physically that their body can handle it. Is this not a rational way to deal with it? And that doesn't mean that you tell them that they're not valid as people or all this shit. You can be compassionate to how they feel without mutilating them.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I feel like a lot of this stuff would be kind of a no-brainer, kind of common sense, but apparently that's not a thing anymore, so.
And this is why I've always told people I'm in the center. I don't hate trans. I'm not against their stuff. I don't hate gay. I'm not against their stuff. I'm anti-kink shame. I'm for open sexuality as long as you're not pushing it in kids' faces. But I am pro-life and pro-gun. So yeah, I would fall in the center. There's some definite hard strikes on both sides that I stand for, you know? And my viewpoint on most things falls in the middle.
Yeah.
But I'm passionate. The people who claim that if you're on the centrist, then you don't have beliefs. No. We don't tie to your philosophies. Doesn't mean we don't have beliefs, you know?
And it's just like, it's the idea of like, okay, like when you've got two opposing sides, try to compromise. Like try to do something that brings people together. Like that's how you get cohesion.
A thread earlier with this checkmark right-winger saying that under no circumstance would I ever even consider hiring anybody who dyes their hair blue, purple, or bright colors. And the score of people in the thread literally saying that even having purple hair automatically makes you a predator, an SJW, a groomer, and all this shit. It's like, fuck you bastards. This is the right side for you. The anti-SJW right is as bad as the SJWs.
I would agree with that. I just I tend to lean more with anti-SJWs just because like they don't have as much
overall philosophy wise. I do, but when you start being an insane head case, a bigot, or throwing around terms for sex offenders where they don't apply just because you don't like somebody, that's where I'm done. I don't care what side you're on. You're a piece of shit, you know?
No, you gotta be careful about how do I put it. It's like when you're dealing with an extreme side, it tends to breed extremism on the opposite end, and you gotta be careful about that.
As I said, overall, I fall on the center right. I have more conservative views than liberal. But most of my views are more center, and I do have several liberal views. So I would be center right.
I'm mostly libertarian in that it's like
Libertarian falls in that central region. It's not right or left. However, I have problems with what they've turned that into as well, because they've adopted Ayn Rand, who was not libertarian. She was libertine. It's not the same movement. And she has very different philosophies. And libertarian is henline. It's the moon is a harsh mistress. Libertine is Fountainhead and Ayn Rand. And libertine was about sexuality. It was not about your other rights, which libertarian is.
Yeah.
Well, they're not the same movement.
Well, it's that if there's one thing that history shows us over and over, it's that the more centralized power is, the more oppression there is. Mm-hmm. Like, that's just, like, I feel like that's obvious, but, like, apparently it's not. Like,
in fact, I'll do you one better. If you actually look at the traditional values of what libertarians started as, the screw tape letters from C.S. Lewis is more libertarian than Ayn Rand was.
Oh, C.S. Lewis.
He definitely was a center-right kind of libertarian Christian, if you define him.
Yeah. I feel like the best Christians are the ones who start off as atheists and then kind of convert.
Well, thank you so much.
Well, I'm saying that as somebody who was born Christian. Like, I'm not,
Okay, born to Christians. You're not born Christian, but well, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, like I was raised Christian, and I kind of went through.
I think I get what you mean, but it's not so much starting atheists as the best people of faith are those who've really had tribulations and actually have been through trials. There's a reason it's your testimony. It's about going through trials and testaments. Yeah. Because that's what hardens your faith in the right ways. That's what strengthens your resolve to be compassionate to others who are struggling.
I would say also, like, just being able to approach teachings, like, in a way, like, being able to actually put some critical thinking in it, and being able to question it.
See, I was raised in a very Christian house, but Dad did not like his Catholic upbringing, and he taught us to see everything, to look at all sides, to research other viewpoints, to research other cultures, and learn everything we can. To look at the parallels between our tribal heritage and our Christian beliefs. Dad taught us to embrace it all, and so did Mom. And they taught us to learn and study. So I grew up with a lot of faith when I was little. I lost it hard for a long time. I fell pretty bad after I got trampled. And I mean, it was before I even got trampled that I was starting as a cutter. So there was that anyways. But between everything I went through as a little kid medically and all that crap, I was cutting by the time I was 10. And when I got trampled when I turned 11, I went hard against my faith for a while. It was too much. I'd had enough. I've been through too much. And it took years of struggles, of going through shit, of horror shows that I lived through, suicide attempts and other shit, and studying the entire time I'm going through all this hell, to really search through all these religions, search through the lack of religion and science, and find what I believed again. And that's what I've seen is those who have to face the fire to find their faith tend to have stronger faith and tend to be more compassionate to those who don't have it.
I agree. I agree totally. Like, I mean, I went through a period where I almost went atheist, but like, again, like, to me, the logic kind of veers in favor of theism.
I went closer to Black Witch and trying to actually hex my ex and shit, so I'll just leave it at that.
I'm not into all that.
I'm not saying I am now, but I did.
I've known a few Wiccans in my day, though.
Yeah, this wasn't even the normal Wiccan. This was a little more to the hardcore pagan side. This was closer to Druid kind of shit I was studying.
I don't know much about Druid paganism.
Druid included human sacrifices and black magic.
I can kind of see that.
And I'm not going to say that I did any of the sacrificial stuff or any of that stuff, but that's where I was starting to study and fall into when I kind of started to break loose and find myself again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've been on the extreme ends, and I've been in the middle where I didn't believe in anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not
think,
easy.
but I do think like, yeah, those experiences kind of help build us up and ultimately give us a better perspective than we would otherwise have if we were just kind of falling in line, doing as we were told the whole way through.
And I mean, hell, I'm still a tribal naturalist. Let's be honest here.
Well, I'm still the bastard son of a Greek god, and
No, you're not.
yeah, I'm the son of Zeus.
Although my husband is actually descended from the adopted son of Captain Morgan.
I thought you were going to say, well, actually, my husband is the son of Zeus.
No, but I find that one fascinating because he comes from bastards and pirates. I mean,
Well, I don't know if you knew this, but I'm actually quite a fan of pirates.
I never would have guessed.
I'm also a fan of space pirates,
Oy, 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 oy.
kind of like the ones that are currently on the screen.
Ben is
Which is-
shameless in his self-promotion, by the way, people.
If I don't do it, who the hell is going to do it?
I told you I will do a show for you to show off what you're working on. I just need to be able to get situated with dealing with some stuff.
Oh, I know. It's just like the thing about it is like CG there's so many books out now. Like everybody and their mother's producing a comic right now, so it's like I gotta fight even harder to be relevant. Like
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't backed anything in quite a long time because of what's been going on in my life. Basically, since the Dre show hit almost 2 years ago, I haven't been able to. There's always something going on, and there's always something that has to come first.
no, yeah, like I honestly haven't been able to back anything in at least 6 months. Like
I hate that I can't. And I tell people this is not because I don't support you guys. It's not because I'm not still a part of this community. I can't. Because I have to take care of family first. I have to take care of the house. I have to take care of surgeries for my animals. I have to take care of that kind of shit. And right now, I still have over $12,000 I have to raise for mom for the stuff for dad for the costs from him passing away in the funeral.
Yeah.
And I've been killing myself raising money for 2 months, and I have raised several thousand. But it's been on sweat, tears, making stuff, selling stuff, doing auctions quietly in chat groups and places and stuff. I mean, I've been busting it. When I was spending 6 weeks on an oxygen tank, I was sitting there with the hoses hooked to me, shaking, making jewelry, and doing auctions in private chats and selling stuff and shipping it.
I've just been washing dishes at a Lebanese restaurant and hating it to the point where I just had to quit.
My cousin's soon-to-be ex-wife is Lebanese. She's nuts.
But it was just, oh god, like
It worked.
like,
And I am not saying she's nuts because she's Lebanese. I'm just noting that both of those are true.
No, I just like the job itself was just, I was getting angry like every day at work, and I felt like I couldn't live like that. Like
When I was in college, I had a job like that. I was doing management, but I was working with fast food and stuff. But it wasn't doing fast food and dealing with that shit that bothered me. It was our store manager. Oh my God, she was a little bitch. And she was the kind that didn't do shit other than favors for the owner, so she kept her job. And I hated her so much. Well, in the office where the managers did all our work, and I was night manager, so I did the night counts, all that. So I had to spend a lot of time in the office. There was a bulletin that you're all supposed to be able to use to put your little mementos to help you get through while you're doing your work in there. That was basically a shared cubby, right? She never figured it out. You remember the old Happy Bunny stuff? The little Happy Bunnies that were saying horrible things?
Yes.
I got one of those that was a sticker. That was a big little postcard sticker that had the bunny pointing off sideways going, "It's okay if you want to drop dead." And I aimed it on the board so it was tilted so it was pointing at her face on her picture. And she never got it. She never got that was aimed at her.
She might have, and she just didn't want to mention it.
No, because she commented on how happy she was to see the bunny there, and I'm like,
I mean, she might have been trying to, play you or out.
No, she wasn't that smart, trust me. She couldn't figure anything out. Everything went over her head. We had to teach her everything, even though she was supposedly the store manager. She was a dumbass. She was a dumb broad. She was a slut. I guarantee you the only way she had that job was doing sexual favors for the boss. Because it's really funny how she kept getting all these raises and kept getting all this credit, and it usually happened right around time the owner showed up, and then she disappeared, and they both disappeared for the same amount of time and came back together, and especially since those owners went to jail for embezzlement after I reported them anyways.
Jesus, lady, is there anything you haven't done? Like,
I have a very weird life where weird shit keeps happening around me. I don't know why. I don't know why. But I've kind of taken it at this point being, okay, shit's going to happen and I'll roll with it. Because it's gonna. It always has. You know?
I need a vacation.
I remember, oh God, working in the craft store was hell. And it wasn't hell because there were two things that made it hell. A, these little old ladies that were snobby little bitches that would come in and start to say something, or come in and say it, greet them like you're supposed to. And the first thing they would say is they'd look at you, "I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to somebody who's old enough to know what they're doing." And they'd literally say it and put their hand up in your face. And they'd go over to the other employees and they'd start talking to them and they'd point them back over to me, and I'd be sitting there laughing because they'd be walking over trying to act like they didn't just do that. But it's also because I ran the upholstery section.
Yeah.
The upholstery section meant we had to take shipment of, catalog, and run all those giant bolts that are like 200, 300 pounds of upholstery fabric. And these are big towering things we could put them on and off of and get them down and cut things and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
The other problem was the way they shipped them. They shipped them so they were standing upright to the direction they would need to go on the rack, right? The problem is they put the SKU number and these check-ins barcodes on the other end on the bottom. So in order to check these in, you had to take each couple 100-pound bolt, flip the entire thing on its end, scan everything in while balancing it, get it flipped back around, and then get it raised up onto the racks. Do you know what a day of those shipments would do to you? Holy crap.
Lordy, my brain is my brain's not working even. My brain's working even less than it was at the beginning of the stream. So I think I'm probably gonna have to wrap it up. But everybody out there, Outlaw Nights, Genesis of a Renegade, issue part 2, because it was supposed to be one issue, but I had to cut it in half to make it feasible, and I really didn't want to. But basically, sign up on this here email list to get access to exclusive perks that you will not get on the main campaign. And we have already got 75 folks signed up, so we've only got 25 more until I can launch this mother. And I'm ready. I've been ready.
He's a bad mother. I mean,
I've been so ready to launch this thing because I want to do this book. Damn it! I got to do it. It's in my blood. And I mean, I got all these, and I got all these plans for what's going to happen to the pirates and to Cyrus, but I can't do all that until we do this issue, which has already been written for a while now. And so, sign up on the list. If you like anything we have to say, go ahead, hit the like button. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button. And hell, even if you don't like anything we have to say, go ahead and hit the dislike button. I'm not going to be able to see it because YouTube made it impossible for me to see it because they want to protect my feelings. But if it makes you feel good, go ahead and do that. And Rosetta, where can everybody find you?
well, you can look for Eagle Rider and find the Crazy Eagle Chick riding. It'll be underneath the motorcycles, obviously. Other than that, you go over to Twitter and find Rosen Queen 1 and find the SJWs and anti-SJWs do not like me, and I go to war with them. A lot.
Yeah.
This is fact.
I think pretty much every day.
I wake up, I find that they're saying stupid shit to me. I trash their shit. They whine and bitch. That's about the thing. They always say something first, either me or my friends, but I'm really good at slapping back, and I like doing it.
And of course, you can find me here on this channel. Until I get another job, I'm probably going to be doing 2 streams a week, kind of like this. So yeah, every Saturday at 7 Central, and I'm going to keep it kind of flexible for the second stream. Pretty much, I would say around Wednesdays like this is probably good, but maybe Tuesdays, maybe Thursdays, I'll figure it out. But yeah,
this is a good time frame because if you do it on later in the Wednesday, you've got everyone else trying to stream, Piper and all them, and it gets really busy. If you do it much earlier than this, it'll start overriding with when Anthony does do his Toke Time streams. So if you do it on Wednesdays, the 3 o'clock is actually about the best time to do it and not override everyone else.
Well, they need to stop and give me all the attention and all the.
So they need to change their schedules that they've had for like 2 years to accommodate you starting a new one?
Yes. I think that's fair.
No.
But as always, everybody, thank you for joining us, and we will talk to you all later.
Bye.